Hello, welcome to my channel. A few months back, we made a chicken half moon where the viewers really loved. For now, the upcoming fasting, we are going to show y'all a vegetarian version of the half moon, which is mushroom with mixed veg. For my mushroom filling, the ingredients are I have 2 trays of 200 gram of white button mushroom. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of oil, 1 medium-sized onion sliced, 4 cloves of garlic which I'll crush, a cup of mixed veg, a generous grind of black pepper, a generous grind of salt, a sprinkle of mixed herbs, and a sprinkle of paprika. For the braise, I will be using some fresh thyme, and for the garnish, I'll be using some spring onions. I'm also going to make a white sauce, and for my white sauce, I've got 120 gram of butter. I'm going to use 1.5 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of flour. To that, I'm also going to use a grain of salt and pepper for taste. And for my filling, because I had some hard cheese, I got a 1/4 cup of grated hard cheese, and I have 3/4 cup of cheddar cheese grated. We'll also make our dough, which we're going to show y'all. Firstly, I'm going to rinse and slice my mushrooms. I've got my stove on medium heat. I'm just going to add in my oil to the pan. Firstly, I'm going to add in my onions. I will allow this to fry. My onions are just beginning to turn color. So to my frying of the onions, I'm going to add in my thyme, which I removed most of the stem. And to that, I'm going to add in my mushroom that I rinsed and sliced. I will allow my mushroom to fry. While my mushroom is frying out, I'm going to quickly prepare my white sauce. Here I have a small pot that's just getting hot on medium heat. I'm going to throw in my butter, which is 120 gram, and allow this to melt out. My butter has melted. I'm going to add in my 2 tablespoons of flour and start mixing till my flour fries. My flour has cooked out. I'm going to add a generous grain of pepper and salt to taste. To my white sauce, I'm also going to add in my 1.5 cup of milk. I'm going to continue stirring because it mustn't form into lumps. My white sauce is done, and I'm going to switch my stove off. And as you can see how nice and smooth it's done. In the meantime, My mushrooms have come to a fry on low heat. I'm going to add in my crushed garlic. Allow the garlic to fry. And while that is getting done, I'm going to give a generous grind of pepper. And a generous grind of salt for taste. I'll give this a nice mix. And thereafter I'm going to add in my cup of mixed veg. While my white sauce has rested, we saw it splitting, so we added a little bit more milk to the mix. As you can see, now it's much more better. 4 minutes has passed. I am ready to add in a sprinkle of mixed veg to the mushroom. And a sprinkle of paprika just for color. So I'm going to give this a mix. I will allow this another 3 minutes. We adjusted the salt to our mushroom. To my mushroom, I am ready to add in my white sauce. I'm going to pour it in gently. And mix. To this I'm going to add a little more. Make it more sauce. So it will be nice and rich with the sauce. My white sauce is mixed up completely and I think it's enough. I got a little extra for another day. I am ready to switch my stove off at first. Add in my cheese. Mix my cheese into the mushroom. This is looking a very rich filling. For my garnish, I'm just going to cut in my spring onions, slightly fine. While my mushroom filling is going to cool a little, I'm going to start off making the dough for the half moons. I've put my water in the kettle to boil. While that is getting done, for making of the dough, I've got 2 cups of flour. To my 2 cups of flour, I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of fine salt and 2 tablespoons of butter. And thereafter, I'm going to use my hands to give this a nice mix, like a breadcrumb finish. My water is boiled. I'm going to measure a cup and I'm going to add it gently. So I've got a quarter. I like using my hands whenever making a roti dough or any dough. Then I'm going to add in my quarter of the water. So that's a cup. Give this a nice mix. Start making a dough. My dough is done, and on the side I've got a little dry flour to help me for the stickiness, but this is not sticky at all. But I will sprinkle some on the dish, so this is my dough. I'm going to divide this dough into half and also cling wrap the other half so you can stay nice and moist. I'm going to use my countertop, sprinkling some dough. Form this into a log. And that's my half. With half of this dough, I'm going to work with by making a big roti, not too thin, not too thick. I'm going to start by rolling. So this is the way I like it, not too thin, not too thick. The last time I used my 500 ml container for cutting and it was a perfect size. So I'm using it again. I've managed to cut 4 round circles, but with the extra dough, we can make another 2. I put this dough together, and here I've got my another half of dough that's resting. So I'll just mix it in and allow it to rest with a cling wrap. I'll demonstrate with these 4. My mushroom filling is cooled down a little, but it's still warm to the touch. So I'm starting with 1 tablespoon. Put it towards the center. And here I have flour and water paste that I mixed up. I'm going to use this to help me to seal my half moon. So I turn it over, keeping a little space Using a fork, I'm going to create a pattern. So I place this one and continue. You can also use your finger to seal them, but the fork will give us a pattern to finish off. Now we are going to bread our half moons. Normally we use eggs, but to keep it vegetarian, we are substituting the eggs for buttermilk. So here I have 2 plates. One's for the buttermilk, and the other is for the breadcrumbs. So the method we use is 1 hand to the wetness, and 1 for the dry. I will continue with the other 2. Here I have 2.5 centimeter of oil to the nice deep karai, and I'm working on a low heat. My oil has heated up, and I'm going to place my half moons into the oil gently. I'll give a few minutes for it to fry on one side and then turn. I turn my first 2, and then I'm going to add in my other 2. I will allow this to fry till it's golden brown. My first 2 that I put in, it's ready for taking out. And how you know when it's done? When it puffs up. I will put this to my dripping tray. I will allow my another 2 to fry out, and thereafter we are ready to serve. Here you go, your lovely golden color half moons that was made with mushroom and mixed veg. This is one good vegetarian snack. You can even have it as a meal. And on the side, we have a nice dip to go with. Don't forget to watch all our other vegetarian snacks and vegetarian recipes on the channel for this coming fasting period. There's many recipes put out that you can try and enjoy. I'm quickly going to break open one to show y'all how it's done in the inside. The outside is nice and crispy, and the inside is nice and full. I want to wish all the viewers all the best for the upcoming fasting period. Thank you all for watching and enjoy.